It would be so nice to remember that we are spiritual beings having a human experience. If we could just like get that tattooed to our forehead or something. For me in particular, today has been a very transformative day to remind me that I am a spiritual being first, having a human experience. And all of this dental work and the pressure and pain and fever and all the stuff that it takes to get a root canal, and it takes to feel better, and resting and hydrating and eating the right food and losing weight and taking good care of yourself is at times more than I can handle. I don't know if I'm alone on this, I doubt it, but today has just been unbelievably transformative. And here's why. So I'm trying to think of how I want to get into this. So, you know how when you're under a lot of pressure, you're overwhelmed with stress and strain, too many appointments, too many things to do, too many bills to pay, not enough money, too many, or illness or pain or whatever it is that's happening in your life. You're overwhelmed, you're overworked, you're underappreciated, you don't have enough support. Yes, you do. You do have enough support. You just have to stop and breathe. Inhale love, exhale gratitude. And remember who you are and act accordingly. Remember, you are a spiritual being. You're spiritual. You are a body of light. You are a body of love and light. You are made of miracles. You are made of stardust. You are made of beauty and kindness and love and patience and gorgeous chaos, as one of my friends calls it. You are a divine being. And so when things come along like work and traffic and bills and whatever problem comes along, as a spiritual being, I like to step back and look at it from the bigger vantage point, but that's because I have my North Node in, not my North Node, nose, my North Node. My North Node is in Sagittarius in the 4th house of home and family. So I like to look at everything as a place of home, and the Sagittarius causes me to look at it from the bigger picture. What's the bigger picture here? It's kind of like with me zooming out to get my point across. What's the bigger picture here? And the bigger picture really is the smaller picture. The smaller picture is that you are a spark of the divine. You are literally love personified. That doesn't lend really well to the human experience because we are busy we want to be in that spiritual realm. If you've been spiritually awakened, you want to live in that spiritual realm because it's just so much more convenient. It feels so much better. It feels like home to be working in the light and helping other people. And when you get interrupted by problems and pain and illness and grocery shopping and raising children and traffic and somebody cutting you off, or a bill didn't get paid like you thought it did, what else are you going to do other than freak out a little bit? Because it doesn't make sense on the spiritual level. But on the human level, the 3D experience, which is what we're in, it does make complete sense. So I'm just trying to think of the best way to really relay this. You probably have already figured out that during transformation is when we feel like we're losing it. During transformation, when everything is, quote, going wrong, in quotes, going wrong, and we're falling apart, and everything's horrible, and everything's just like, we're overwhelmed, in reality, we're coming together. We're coming together, you guys. We're falling together. We're falling in love with our lives. We're falling in love with the spiritual beings that we actually are. And your North Node is the best way to know what that is. So if you'd like me to tell you what your North Node is, I'm happy to take a look at your astrology chart. I hadn't planned to bring this up because I just wanted to talk about transformation. But if you go to aprilbm.com and click on astrology, I can do a reading for you. But I just want you to know that your North Node can point you in the direction of your destiny. It is your destiny. It's the reason that you came to Earth as a spiritual being. In your 5D experience, living in a 3D experience, it's hard to put that square peg in that round hole. But the North Node makes it a whole lot easier because you at least know which house, which sign, and which direction you're going in. Because your South Node lets you know where you were. Your North Node is where you're going. And so during times of transformation, when things are falling apart, they're really falling together. But you need to know where your North Node is in order to fall together with some knowledge of what does that really mean. And it's also super important to know what your numbers are. Because when you know what number you are, what year you're in, like if you're in a 9 year and everything's falling apart, that's because you're in a 9 year. You're preparing for your 1 year, which is the new year of a 9 year cycle. So in my astrology readings, I do your astrology, your numbers, and I talk to you a lot about your North Node. Because it's your compass. It's your spiritual compass. And when you have your spiritual compass pointed in the way that the divine has asked you to be here on Earth at this time, it just gives you reassurance. And I'm touching my heart. It reassures you that what you're doing is on purpose. Your life is on purpose. What you're doing is for a purpose. You're living your mission. You're living your destiny, your fate, your karma. It's all playing out for you exactly as it's supposed to. The universe does not make mistakes. You are here for a reason. So if you're going through a really tough, transformative time, I want you to know this, that you're not falling apart. You're falling together. But it's feeling a little messy. So I'm here for you if you want some help with that. We can either do astrology or coaching, whatever you prefer. But when you know your astrology and your numerology and your North Node, and you get some coaching from me and I use my intuition and my spiritual guidance, that is my jam. Like, I love to do that for people. It just makes me feel so good. And that's because my North Node is in Sagittarius in the 4th house of home and family. So that's why it makes sense. It feels really positive. And I just want you to know that you're not alone and that this does make sense. You might be thinking, this makes no sense. My life makes no sense. But it does. Your life really does make sense. You really are here for a reason. And I can tell you what that reason is. You may have already figured it out, but I can help you along the process. I can tell you this, that in the midst of my crisis this week, and this has been quite a week for me, very transformative, it is reassuring to know that I'm not alone, that I've got friends that have my back, and that I know my North Node is precisely where the universe wants it to be, and that is exactly how I'm supposed to be living my life, how I'm supposed to be doing my life, why I'm supposed to be the person that I am, with all my faults, all the things that I do wrong, how I screw up every time I do this, that, and the other, I mess up, or whenever I feel like a dork, and I've messed something up big time, and I'm like, oh God, I'm so embarrassed. But it's reassuring to know that I'm still on track. And you can be on track too. If you're feeling off track, contact me. The link will be below the video, aprilbm.com. Click on coaching, click on astrology. I also have some free meditations for you to listen to because that's one of my gifts. And you can have a better life and know the direction because of your spiritual compass. And also just knowing that you're not alone, that should help you tremendously. I know it helps me when I reach out to my girlfriends and they've got my back. I've got your back. Let's do this thing.